Good evening, everyone. I am recording this before 10:30, and I want to thank Matt Camper for, of course, breaking the story earlier this evening as it was first happening with regard to what happened on the Montauk branch earlier this evening. Pretty much, Matt was all over this as soon as it happened, and I want to give him special thanks for covering this. I want to thank him very much for, of course, giving the most accurate information available at the time. The good news is at this hour, I can happily report about a half hour ago, 40 minutes ago, that all service on the Montauk branch was restored. So what happened tonight was a train hit and killed a man in Shirley. So let's read this Newsday article. So here's what happened. A train hit and killed a man in Shirley earlier this evening, suspending service in both directions between Patchogue and Montauk for more than 2 hours, the LIRR said. The 509 train from Penn to Sponik struck the 23-year-old near the Smith Road crossing, which is west of the Shirley Mastic train station, just after 7 p.m., Long Island Railroad spokesman Chris McKinnon said. So, obviously it's very saddening to hear that this person was born in 1995, number one, the same year I was born, and number two, very sad to, of course, hear this, and third, we don't even know if this was an unauthorized person, because the article doesn't even mention that. I don't want to assume the worst. It could have been an MTA employee, we don't know, but it's just sad to hear that this happened after 7 o'clock tonight at the Smith Road crossing. Pretty much it happened right near the Shirley Mastic train station. Service on the Montauk branch was restored just after 9:30 p.m., but riders were expected to deal with delays up to 90 minutes. So that is the good news with regards to, of course, all of the service being restored on the Montauk branch. This was an eastbound train, as I was saying, going to Sponik, was carrying about 300 passengers and would be allowed to continue east as investigators began wrapping up the case at the scene, Chris McKinnon said earlier. So pretty much, if you're not familiar with the Montauk branch, this train was definitely a diesel C3. I can confirm that. Matt Camper also confirmed that. If he didn't, I apologize about that, but yes, this was definitely a diesel C3 train that hit this person, because remember, all M7s terminate at Babylon, so if this train was coming from Penn, it had to be a diesel C3, because the only other train I can think of that is a diesel C3 train would be the weekly train that goes all the way to Montauk from Penn Station, which leaves every Friday for the seasonal trips. So this had to be a diesel C3, and if it wasn't, I would be surprised if this was an M7. I really would be, because once you go out east past Babylon, those trains are diesel. Alright, 7 buses were dispatched to Patchogue to take riders along the Montauk route. The Long Island Railroad had suggested that customers would use the Ronkonkoma branch. And I was, of course, tweeting this. I was monitoring this on Twitter to give you all the information that you all needed from the Long Island Railroad's Twitter account. Other details are not immediately available. Other than, again, we do not know at this hour if this was an unauthorized person or an MTA employee. As I said before, I don't want to assume the worst, that it was an unauthorized person at this hour, because it really wouldn't be fair to give assumptions here. But this was, of course, a picture from the scene at Smith Road, right by the Shirley Mastic train station. And I know it was a headache, but this could have been a whole lot worse if this took place tomorrow, because remember, most people do head out east on Friday for, of course, their weekend extravaganzas out to the Hamptons and, of course, Montauk. So, once again, thank goodness this didn't happen tomorrow or on a Sunday night, because if it did, it would just be a whole lot stressful, considering that on summer nights you always know Friday night and, of course, Sunday nights are when people travel. So, other than that, that's the information I can give to you right now, other than the fact that we had to deal with this issue. And once again, Matt Camper, if he's watching, thank you very much for covering this as soon as it broke earlier tonight, because I couldn't be here in Ocean City in front of my computer because I was out, obviously. So, of course, the best thing, of course, I could do, I'm going to urge everybody right now, if there's any other problems, if I can't get to the computer in any case, I will be tweeting, of course, at Andy's Randomness, and or our other contributor to this page, because it is official now, Jason Anthony, will be contributing tweets on my Twitter handle. He won't be on my account personally. He'll be tweeting from his account, so that way I can give you the information secondhand from, of course, whoever we need to give the information out from. So, yeah, Jason Anthony was all over this too. I can confirm that. So thank you for doing that as well. That's why we're adding contributors to the Andy's Randomness Network. Time Power LI with, of course, the weather updates the next couple days. If the weather is going to get worse in New York, because I did look it up randomly, and it looks like it is going to be more rain coming to New York this weekend. So if any big rain event happens in New York, Time Power LI is your first guy to go to. For your transit updates, please just remember, I'll still trying to do them on Twitter, at Andy's Randomness. Matt Camper 1994 if he has to tweet, of course, but definitely Jason BXNY 0619 is who you want to follow on Twitter. So that's why I wrap it up. Other than the fact that I was able to get this information out to everybody tonight, and of course I could do a video here on YouTube about it. So